Hi, my name is Donald Jenkins, and I am the sales manager here with TransWorld Systems in Nashville, Tennessee. And the purpose of this video is to tell you who we are and what we do and what the opportunity provides. If you're watching this, it is because I have either emailed you or my manager has, as somebody who has the qualifications that we're looking for to fill an outside sales position. I want to tell you about my career, what TransWorld offers, and then see if it's something that you would then like to interview for. I have been with TransWorld for over 10 years. I started as a sales rep. I have been promoted a couple of times to build and grow sales teams and have done that very successfully. We are now moving into other markets that we don't necessarily have an office in, and we can do that because, well, we're completely web-based. And with technology, we have opportunities to grow regardless if we have brick or mortar. To tell you about how we started in 1970. It was actually started by one person out of a garage. And we have now grown to over 100 offices nationwide, and we have over 70,000 clients. The opportunity now is greater than it has ever been, and that is why we are reaching out to you right now. A little bit about TransWorld is we operate in the cash flow management or accounts receivables part of any business and or medical practice. Now, cash flow management or receivables is the act of money coming into a business. So I'm sure you're aware that if there is more money going out of a business than is coming in, well, they're probably not in business for that long. So we get the opportunity to go in to meet with business owners, doctors, kind of what we call C-level managers, CEOs, CFOs, and really consult with how to bring in their money the quickest, cheapest, and fastest, most efficient way. We do this by calling on those bottom line decision makers, and it is a very consultative sell. This is what I really love about this opportunity, is that I get to go out and meet with business owners and not just sell kind of a tangible Me Too item, but I get to consult on how to improve their business so that they can focus on what they're really good at, which is either building that widget that they're selling or providing the best health care possible, and not have to stress about having this great internal procedure for trying to collect what is owed to them. That's where we come in. Now, what that looks like, for the most part, all of our clients, before they started working with us or before I had a chance to go in there and consult with them, they were probably using what we call a two-phase approach to receivables. And really what that looks like is product or service was sold and was not paid for up front, and then at that point they kind of go into their follow-up method, which is their phase one or in-house efforts. Okay, and it looks very similar to, statements, phone calls, or some form of letters. Okay, and that's really about all they can do in-house to collect what's owed to them. Okay, now the reality is that the first 30 to 60 days that they do this, very minimum effort recovers the majority of what's owed to them. Okay, it works for the most part. However, once 90 days past due, or depending on what their terms are, you can see that companies and medical practices, they're skeptical. They don't really know if they're going to get paid, but they're really hopeful. So they end up spending about 80% of their time, effort, and money on average to collect only about 5% of what's owed to them. And the reason being is because, well, their only other option is, after they continue to bill or make phone calls or send statements, is to kind of write it off and do nothing, which means they've lost the money they spent trying to collect it plus what was owed to them. Or their other option, or at some point they usually have used what we call a traditional collection agency. And so what I want to do is tell you the difference between what all of the companies and medical practices were doing before we had the chance to call them, and then what we can provide. Now, before I can do that, I really have to explain to you what a standard traditional percentage-based collection agency looks like. Okay, so they bill in-house, doing statements, letters, and phone calls. At some point, throw their hands up in the air and go, what do we do? So traditionally, they would write it off and use a collection agency. Now, a traditional collection agency is going to keep anywhere from 30 to 50% of whatever they collect. So if a $1,000 balance is turned over to them, they recover it, they're going to keep anywhere from $300 to $500. Now, while that is obviously money that they did not have. Most companies and medical practices don't have a 30 to 50% profit margin. So even if it is collected, the company is still losing money. So it is kind of pricey. The American Collectors Association says that most collection agencies' recovery rates are only about 14 to 21%. So they only actually recover about 1 or 2 out of 10 accounts that they even get, which obviously does not add back to the client's bottom line. The true cost of collections being money that's, not collected because, they've lost 100%. Most collection agencies, or not most, but all, and it's kind of an industry standard, is they will skim accounts, which means they're in business to make money too. So they're obviously going to work the accounts that they are going to make the most money on, meaning the higher balances, the one with the highest credit scores. So they kind of go through all these different accounts that they get, and they really work the ones that they know that they have the best chance of collecting and or the ones that they're going to make the most money on. And the other ones, they don't really get worked that much, which obviously hurts their recovery rates, which obviously hurts our clients' bottom line. Okay. The other disadvantage to a percentage-based agency is it's kind of a tactic to alienate the relationship between the company and or the customer or the patient. In other words, they don't want them working together anymore. Okay, so they alienate that, and it's almost kind of a fear tactic that you must work with the agency, that you no longer can do any business or communication with the client, and it's really kind of the process that they go through in trying to collect the money. It's maybe effective in recovering money, but doesn't help my client's future business, whether it be referral and or repeat business. So it's just kind of the reality of the industry. And most agencies are somewhat difficult to kind of work with. In other words, most agencies don't provide reporting to the client as far as what's been collected or what's being said to them. In other words, once the client turns the account over, they've really kind of lost control and don't really know what's going on. Plus, there's really not a whole lot of transparency. In other words, they don't have a website that can say, hey, I can stop, start, or cancel, or anything like that. So they're kind of difficult to use. They want copies of invoices or statements that maybe the customer or patient signed, and so clients are really having to put those packets together to send over. This is your standard traditional percentage-based agency, and this is your standard traditional process that all businesses and medical practices are doing some form of before we have the opportunity and to really consult them on a better way. And that better way looks like this. Over 40 years ago, we determined and knew through research and development that over 80% of the monies that are collected by agencies are done as a result of the first written letter that they send. Now, we have to send the letter because it's federal law, but the impact of a third party allowed agencies to send one written letter to the debtor. The impact of just because they can say they're a collection agency collected the money, and now they get to keep 30 to 50% of the balance. We determined that we don't have to take a percentage and that we could do those written demands in our basic service and provide the same third-party impact to our clients, but do it for a flat fee instead of taking a percentage of always $15 per account or less. So it really could be a $50 balance or a $5,000 balance. It would always be less than $15 an account. The money's recovered there is now also recovering our client's profit, not just whatever we could get. So you can obviously see why that is beneficial for our clients. It's a lot more cost effective. What we also had is because the balance doesn't matter to us and because we don't alienate, and I'll get into that in just a little bit, but we actually are receiving about 4 times the industry average in recovery rates. We have close to 56% recovery rate over our whole 70,000 client base, which is 4 times the industry average of 14 to 21. So the more money we recover without taking a percentage, obviously helps our clients' bottom line. That's the goal. We also do not skim accounts. Now, this adds to why we have higher recovery rates because, we work them all. The balance doesn't matter to me. So you can submit $20 balance, $20,000 balance. We work every account the exact same way. because we don't take a percentage. And then we are also very diplomatic. Our goal is to actually keep the customer or the patient and not alienate that relationship. 90% of our clients deal with repeat business or referrals. And it's actually why most clients work accounts in-house so long, is because they don't want to alienate that relationship. So if we can do it without taking a percentage, and we have higher recovery rates, and the reason being is that we work every account, and we'll be very diplomatic and still tell our clients to pay them and work together, then obviously this is really going to help our clients' bottom line and future business, and also reputation within the community. And that's our goal. And then last, we're very easy to use. If anything, we actually make it a lot easier on our clients in that we are completely paperless. We have a 24-hour real-time, what we call online client portal, where the client can stop, start, or cancel at will. They know at all times what's being said, if it's been collected, when it's been collected, and so they always have control. We've even taken it a step further now and are interfaced with most clients' internal software. So software such as QuickBooks, we're interfaced with. All the dental softwares, we're basically interfaced. So instead of even the easy use that we've had for years of going to their client portal to submit accounts, now we can call and say, hey, look, we're in your software. So all you have to do is to press a button, and we can provide this service for you that will recover your money cheaper, better, and faster after the point where you know that they know. This opportunity has worked and has been very profitable and provided me with a lifestyle that I have wanted for the last 10 years. And basically in this, we don't even really compete with the agencies because we're really reducing the number of accounts that ever get to that point. However, there were still opportunities for us. And in the last 3 to 4 years, especially when the economy tanked, we realized that while there was more debt to be worked, that companies and medical practices were also having to do more of the day-to-day operations with less employees. So what we found was that even the first 30 to 60 days of activities of contacting customers and patients were getting harder for our clients to do because, well, not only was there more delinquent accounts, but they were having to do more of the activities with less employees. So we actually also developed our same system that would provide this third-party impact on kind of the over 90 days delinquent accounts. And now if our clients would like, we can actually pick up at day one of delinquency. And instead of our clients having to build that in-house follow-up process, we can do it for them. And we'll do it in their name. As if it were them doing it, they just don't have to do it. With a series of statements and phone calls, okay? But it's not coming from a third party. We're doing it for them, and we're allowed to do it, or can do it, cheaper, better, and faster because we've taken the volume of 70,000 clients and we've worked down our cost to pass on to our client, regardless if it's a single doctor practice or a very large hospital. We can do the same activities that they're paying full-time employees or systems or processes to do. Now we can do it for them for a lot cheaper. And it's a lot more effective because we use the same pricing model. So that is TransWorld, and that is what we call meat and potatoes of what we go out on a day-to-day basis and call on doctors, owners, presidents, veterinarians, CPAs. If you extend credit, you're a prospect to us, and that opportunity is unlimited. In order to understand the income opportunity, I must first explain to you how we price our service. Now, we are volume-based, so the more need that a client has, the less it is per account. Now, I mentioned earlier that we are always $15 or less per account, regardless of the size, balance, or location. But let's say that we are meeting with a medical practice that has 2 doctors, and we consult via their aging report on how many patients they are billing each month. And let's say that they would like us to pick up at 30 days to do their in-house follow-up, send statements and phone calls as if it were them doing it, they just don't have to do it. Well, then we can project a monthly usage. Now, from experience, I can tell you with a couple of doctors that if they use this at 30 days, they're probably going to use about 100 accounts each month. Now, there are 2 different ways that we can work with a client. They can pay on a monthly basis, meaning we're going to assign them a price break, and that volume of about 100 accounts a month would be around $12 per account. Or they could project a usage of, say, a year and buy a block of accounts for the whole year with the incentive of getting the discount, which would be around $10 per account instead of on a month-to-month basis of $12 per account. Either way, it's still more cost effective because we're not asking our clients to spend additional money. They're spending this money anyway, and they're spending a lot more money by doing it themselves. The Medical Group Managers Association and the Dartnall Institute did a study and said that clients are spending on average about $30 to $35 to work an account in-house. So regardless if we charge 12 or 10, it is still more cost effective to use us than them to do it in-house. We're still saving them money. The beauty of our commission structure is that for a rep, any new business that we bring on, we actually make 35% of the total revenue on any new client, which is phenomenal commissions. If you've been in sales before, it's almost unheard of to get 35% of total revenue, but that's still not why I'm with TransWorld. Those commissions are definitely attractive to me, and the opportunity is phenomenal, especially when it is so much more cost effective than what a client can actually do it in-house for. And if we couldn't do it better, all we do is receivables, then we wouldn't be in business for 40 years and have 70,000 clients. So the credibility is there. But the reason why I'm with TransWorld is that, well, while I'm always out to bring on new business, as long as they stay a client, whenever they reorder, if they need more accounts, corporate only drops me 5% on the back end for the life of the client. I will make 30% on what we call reorder commissions for as long as they're a client. That is why I'm with TransWorld. It's the residual income opportunity that I have for life. So what are we looking for? One of the things that I love about this opportunity is that our company is committed to keeping the entrepreneur culture. It's one of the few, if not the only, that I know of that allows an independent contractor relationship with business-to-business sales opportunity. It allows us to not cap you as far as the income opportunity that you have. We will provide the training, we will provide the tools and the infrastructure that provides all that you sell, but it is strictly commission-based. We are 1099 independent contractors, so this is not for everybody. But if it is for you, it is an unlimited phenomenal opportunity that allows you to live the lifestyle that you've always wanted to lead. It's always allowed me to be my own boss. We do not restrict you to territory. It keeps it exciting. I will be meeting with a CPA in the morning and could be meeting with a 12th doctor medical practice in the afternoon. The opportunity is unlimited because, well, we really consult and provide the most crucial aspect to any and all business and medical practices. If this is something that you can see yourself wanting to pursue, follow the instructions on the email. Contact us about scheduling an interview. Thanks.